Good morning. Jared here from Focus Group Florida, Keller Williams Realty. Focus Homes, your local custom home builder, and Focus Remodels when you love where you live and you want to make it better. It's real estate roundup time. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind this week. It's been a crazy active week, which is amazing for real estate. So let's look at the headlines. This week in Central Florida, sold pricing went down 12%. Inventory went down and mortgage rates stayed flat. Let's have a look at the details for Lakeland specifically and Polk County in Central Florida for closings that happened the last 7 days. The average home sold was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and that stayed steady. The square footage, the size of the home went down slightly to 1,678 square feet. Last week it was 1,731. So the smaller home does affect the overall sales price. So that's one factor. The list price went down by $21,000 to $315,000 this week on average. And the average sold price went down $14,000 to $307,000. And that's a 12% difference from the same week from a year ago. Now, I did look at the details specifically for the sold price, and there is a reason. There were 6 homes out of the list that sold for under $80,000. Yes, they were small homes. Yes, they were very, very expensive. They were fixer-uppers, etc., ready for people to go in and renovate and resell them in the future. But that did drag down. If you remember last week, I have my notes here, we had a similar situation where there was 7 homes under 1,000 square feet that sold and very cheap per square foot. So that is one reason for the average price going down, is because we had a bunch of investment homes that actually closed that were very inexpensive. All right, the days on the market actually went up 12 days to 64 days. The sold price compared to the list price went up to 98%. That's an increase of 2 percentage points. Please remember that stat does not take into account any price adjustments. So let's say a home started at $600,000 and it sold for $500,000. It started at $600,000 and the price reduced to $500,000, and then that home sold for $490,000, a 2% increase. That's the 98% of the list price. So it's 98% of the most recent list price. But that's still a decent number. And what that tells you is once the sellers and the agents get to a price that the market wants to pay, then the market will pay it. So there we go. List price, the average per square foot price of a listing went down $4 to $187 per square foot. And the average sold price per square foot went down $1 to $182 per square foot. That is quite low. We haven't seen it that low for a while. So I looked into those details a little bit as well. And 6 of the homes that sold were under $100 per square foot. So that will drag your average price per square foot down. All right, let's have a look at our listing activity for the past week. New listings in Lakeland stayed the same at 94. Sold listings were almost the same at 72. That's just a drop of 3, so that's quite steady. But the new pendings went up by 16 units to 102. So actually, we only had a 92% replenishment ratio this past week, and that means that we had more homes taken off the market than were put back onto the market. When we look at Polk County, the numbers are a little bit different. So the new listings actually went down by 41, which is not quite 10% at 423. The sold listings were virtually the same, 325, again a 3-unit difference from the week before. And the new pendings went up by 37 to 458. It just so happens it has a 92% replenishment ratio as well. Okay, let's talk about our listings that came off the market this week. So our canceled listings, our withdrawn listings, and our expired listings went up by only 6 units in Lakeland. So last week we had 25 such homes removed from the market. This week we had 31, so not a massive change. The big change this week was in our housing supply numbers. So if you remember last month, it was the first month in years that we had quote unquote equilibrium. We had over 6 months of supply. meaning we had about the same amount of buyers and sellers. That has dropped again, not much, but it has dropped. So now we have only 91% of the needed homes based upon the amount of buyers that we have. So that means it's seller's market. And we need 9% more homes to meet the buyer demand. That's where we're at right now. So it's still very close. We're still seeing concessions for things like closing cost assistance. We've got one under contract now where the septic's being replaced, plumbing's being fixed, windows are being replaced, just things are being done to make the deals work. So that is definitely something that is happening at the moment. We have our active listings went down by 11 this particular week to 1,109 for Lakeland specifically. The listings that had a price drop this week went up slightly to 144 units for Lakeland. And actually for the county, that number went down by 6, which is small, to 762. If we look at the 30-year mortgage rate, it's virtually the same, not a whole lot different. Last month it was 6.78%. This month when we looked on the website, it was 6.77%. Now please have a look at our listings. We have one of our lenders, and they offer a special for our listings for the buyers at no cost to the buyer. So for the first year, 1 whole percentage point difference. So for example, we did a broker's open at Caitlin Circle, nice 4-bedroom, 2-bath pool home in North Lakeland yesterday. This program saves the new buyer $243 a month on their FHA loan for the first year. That's almost $3,000 that they're saving at no cost to them because the lender is chipping in to make it more affordable for people to buy. I think it's a fantastic program. So definitely have a look at that. Also we have a special home inspector. They give a coupon for people to use them. So ask about that as well. Also, many of our homes qualify for the home swap program, and that's allowing current homeowners who need to sell their house in order to buy. This program allows them to buy first and then move in, possibly make repairs, depending on how much equity is in the current home. No payments for 6 months on the old home. Those are taken out and put into reserves. And then you've got up to 6 months to sell your house. It's a fantastic program. It allows you to stop the 2-step where you sell, go to rental or family or something in storage, and then find something and buy. You just buy first. It's a great program, so definitely ask about that. If you have any questions for us, feel free to reach out. Please keep a lookout for the Parade of Homes, which is coming the last weekend of April and the first weekend of May. We have a magnificent remodel in Lake Morton Historic District that we're putting into the parade. We're getting very close. The countertops were put in. We're just doing some plumbing finishes, doing some painting finishes, and getting the beautiful wood floors refinished. So I cannot wait. Staging will happen mid-April, and it will be absolutely fantastic. So have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. It's not this week, but next Friday is First Friday. We hope to see you downtown with our Easter treats. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.